Good morning, everyone. The protocol is in place because I don't know exactly what dignitaries are here. I stand here in place of my minister, who at the last minute, he was stopped from coming because we have got a serious problem with our petroleum. Usually, when our minister goes out, he takes greetings from the president to the people he's going to address. So now I greet you in the name of South Sudan and our minister. South Sudan is a new country. We have come through a long way to where we are. For many years, we were busy fighting, and we ignored many things. As a result, we now find ourselves in a situation whereby we are politically independent, but economically not independent at all. So the government is trying to get us this economic independence through our resources. At the moment, we are producing oil, and maybe some of you have heard there are problems with the export of oil. We are landlocked in the first place. That is a problem, and it's a permanent problem that we cannot help. We have to go along with it. Because of the problems we have with the export of our oil, the government has been trying to look into non-petroleum sources of income. And minerals or mining happen to be that alternative. The government has strengthened our Ministry of Petroleum and Mining. Formerly, it was somehow a weak ministry, but our new situation demands that the petroleum sector and the mineral sector should be revived very seriously. That brought me to be appointed as the Undersecretary for the mining sector. I'm about 2.5 months in the job, but already more than a year under pressure. For a long time, I've been asked to try to put this sector to be very active. But before I was appointed, I feared interfering because, you know, when you're an outsider, you don't have all that full right to suggest, to dictate something. But now in my position as Undersecretary, I am encouraging the government to be soft on companies which have opted to work with us. As I said that we have come through war, there are still some war conditions which may not be encouraging to some companies. But now it's our duty to make it sure that companies come in. What are they coming to do? What minerals do we have? And what regulations or laws we have to protect the interests of these minerals, of the nationals. Last month, I was in Australia, and this month I'm here. Next month, I don't know where I will be. The idea is the same. We have to sell our minerals to the international community, especially to partner countries which have shown interest in our country. In this respect, I would like to say thank you to the Australian government and the South African government who are trying to help us in getting us companies which will help us start the work and also to train our people. Last month when I went to Australia, I went with a member of parliament, because these are the architect of our laws, so that if there's any question about law, they will answer. And this time also, I've come with a deputy chairman of our mineral and mining committee in the assembly, so that if there's any legal question, because definitely everybody wants to know what are the legal implications. So I would like to introduce my colleague, James. He's a legal person who helps us in regulating our mineral resources. South Sudan, I think our neighboring countries know, geologically, it consists of precambrian rocks, gneiss, schist, this and that, which have been metamorphosed, folded, and fractured. As a result, there are a lot of mineral occurrences. These are mainly found in the southern part of the country. In the northern part, we have these basins and so on where petroleum is found. So that in the South Sudan, you either step from minerals, base metals, precious metals, and so on, to petroleum. We are very rich. We have the minerals, but we don't have the money. We have gold, we have copper, we have silver, lead, zinc, aluminum, in form of bauxite, and many others. Especially gold, I think we're losing much. Recently, we had visitors from USA. I don't know how they happened to get the idea. They think we are losing resources, money to the tune of over $600 million per year in gold, which is taken out of our country illegally. Well, that is not our problem because, as I said, we have come through war. We're still trying to develop our system of handling our minerals. So whatever minerals, gold has been taken, we forgive those who have taken. We are now interested in dealing with what is there. At the time that I'm speaking now, there are only two companies which are trying to explore. There is a British company called Equator Gold. In fact, I wish they were here so that you could see. And if there's any question about conditions of work in South Sudan, maybe Equator Gold will talk on our behalf. Because if I tell you, you may not believe. But if a British tells a British what's happening there, I think that will be understandable. There's also another company called New Kush. It's registered in UK and in Kenya. It's also exploring for gold in southeast of our country. All this time of war, as I said, that we neglected the mineral sector, but some countries or some companies have been trying to know what we have. As a result, there is now a scramble for mineral concessions. Yesterday evening, I think those who are present, there were talks about how to give out the concessions. We, at first, were so flexible because we were very serious in attracting investors. We allowed any company to choose what mineral, because I said I've come to the minerals we have. The company to choose the mineral they want. And then also to choose the area. We have got rudimentary information about the locations of our mineral occurrences. So based on that, we allow them to choose the mineral and the area. Unfortunately, some companies want to choose which law they should take up. And that we don't sure allow, because our laws take a long time to make. For good or bad, we are still developing them, they have to stand. Because what we are trying to do is not only for the present generation, we are looking to the years ahead. So we want to make sure that our laws attract investors, allows them to take back whatever profit they make, but then also the same laws should guarantee the future of our coming generations. We realize that for mining to succeed, there should be a good knowledge of 3 parameters. First of all, the mineral has to be there. As I told you, we have all these minerals. At the moment, there are people exploiting the gold locally, women, children, and so on. We are very sad that as our African culture dictates, women's place should be in the kitchen, raising children, and keeping home clean. But now a lot of women, they're involved in washing these river gravels for gold, even children. So that is one of the things that are very sad for us, but these are the indications actually that we are rich in minerals. Now the mineral is there, whatever you need is there. Now the second part of this triangle is the funds. We need people to work. We could have done it ourselves. Fortunately, some of us who have studied this field a bit, although a lot of geologists or technical crafts are outside the country, there are still some who could do the job, but we don't have the funds. So we have the mineral, we don't have the funds, and then the know-how. Okay, these 3 things: mineral, funds, and the know-how. That's why I think that in such conferences, there will be people who, after knowing that we have the mineral, they'll round up some money somewhere and they bring the personnel to do the job. All that is open. Now, when you come to, eventually when you come to South Sudan, also there has to be a due understanding and a transparency. Yesterday we talked of transparency in this mineral field. We very much need that any country coming to work with us should be transparent enough. So we have, again, another triangle here. We have the companies which are interested in coming to work with us, and then we have the government, which gives out the regulations and so on. We have the geologists who will work with the companies. And then the third part of this triangle is the community, where the mining or the exploration will be done. Our constitution says the land belongs to the people, so the people actually need to know what company is working in the area, doing what, and so on. And then a long time ago in some African countries, until I worked in some other countries, one of the problems of mining is the environment. When a company comes and it starts doing some work, starts producing, the people are happy because, for example, in my country, the constitution gives 5% of the income from the mining to the state where the mining is taking place. Out of that 5%, 3% is given to the local community where the mining is taking place. 2% only goes to the government. So sometimes there is a fear that this 3% of the income will blindfold the natives and even the government so that the company operating may not pay attention to environmental damage. That's very important. Any company coming, apart from giving us the work program, should also give us the environmental assessment impact, so that when you mine, you take your profit and so on. When you go, you don't leave us behind in a very much damaged country, place. So these are some of the conditions that actually my government or my minister is now emphasizing, that when we give concessions to companies, we need a lot of information from their companies. We need their profiles, where they've worked, doing what, and then if need be, we can even check as to whether they are environmental conscious or not. So we very much wish companies to come to our country, to do the work necessary, to benefit from it, and then also we have to benefit, so that at the end of the day, all stakeholders are happy. With that, I think I need to thank again the organizers for giving me this opportunity. I had prepared myself actually to talk on geology and investment opportunities. This part was supposed to be left to my minister. But now, if there will be any opportunity for those who actually wish to know what investment opportunities are there, I have a lot of information about that. With that, I thank you very much for your attention.